Devil energy. That's about being stuck in what was I just talking about? Being stuck in these codependent patterns that you feel like you must change what you're doing because you're not getting an intended result from a certain person. Well, hey everybody. Good morning. Good morning to you. I'm having a little bit of a Cyndi Lauper hair day today. Most underrated artist probably of my lifetime, Cyndi Lauper. If you don't know who she is, check her out. All right, let's see where we go. Let's see where we go today. Thank you for all the really interesting and kind notes about the new classes coming up. The class about stepping into higher consciousness and also about reading your spiritual blueprint. They are going to be lit, my friends. I'm so excited to do these classes. So if you want to join, you're welcome to. There's a link below. Also, good suggestion from one of our Pathfinders group. They want an all access pass to all of the content that we have. So we've created one for you. All right. There's a link to that below if you want an all access pass to all of the extendeds. All right, so let's see where we go. Let's see where we go today, including morning messages and the zodiac signs. Going to do some air, fire, earth, water. You know what we do here. All right, your effortless effort is fully required. Be present. See through the perfectly purple lens of your galactic destiny. I feel like that one has showed up quite a lot lately. And your words create worlds. So this is a bit of a manifesting reading about manifesting what it is that you truly want and seeing, coming from a place of authenticity, but also seeing things truly correctly, right? Like as things are, as you are experiencing them, if you're attributing, let me see if I can make this clear. Some of you are making cause and effect between things that don't have anything to do with each other. Right. And a lot of us, especially empaths, a lot of us feel rejection from people's actions, even though they're not really doing anything related to us. They're not talking about us. They're not thinking about us. They're doing something that they want to do. And we're attributing it to our own failings or our own problems or our own deficiencies or something like that. Like, it must be me, I must be doing something wrong. And so I'm here to tell you to stop that, because people do things for their own purposes, their own reasons. And from living in your own head for as many years as you've been on this planet, you do the same thing. You do things based on your needs and your desires. A lot of empaths do things based on other people's perceived needs. And it's really time to draw the curtain on that, to no longer be seeing your actions as changing the behavior of another person. Just do what's in your integrity. Okay? Just do what is right for you. Do what is in your integrity. You can smile and be sweet about it, but it's a very important lesson to learn. All right, being in your own integrity, speaking out on what you think is correct, taking action based on your own values. And, there's a lot of people around you that, when you're an empath, you really get all the vibes of other people. Like, sometimes going into a grocery store, doesn't it freak you out? You're walking around going, God, I really feel like there's tremendous pain in there. There's sadness, there's loss, there's grief, there's elation, there's abuse, there's all, sometimes it's hard to walk around in a grocery store. I'm totally with you on that. 7 of Cups, 6 of Wands, 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands, 10 of Swords. Been seeing the 10 of Swords quite a bit. So I'll talk about that in a second. 6 of Cups, Devil energy. That's about being stuck in what was I just talking about? Being stuck in these codependent patterns that you feel like you must change what you're doing because you're not getting an intended result from a certain person. I'm just here to tell you that I feel like there are people out there who are loving that you do that. Makes it easier for them, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, Ace of Wands, 2 of Swords, Page of Pentacles. In this in this instance, I want to say to you that the new day that is coming along on your path here, the Eight of Cups on your path, is really about you standing in your own power and not letting that other stuff in from other people, okay? Not paying attention too much to what you perceive to be their emotion, what you perceive to be is going on with this other person. Now, here's the thing. You are absolutely very correct in the things you take in. You are feeling other people's stuff. You are feeling other people's pain and misery and elation and happiness and joy and all this stuff. But there needs to be some good boundaries for you, because when you take in so much of other people's energies, it muddles you, and that makes you go down this road of like, I'm not doing things correctly. You can get twisted around in someone else's energy. So it's really time to clear that, make some clear boundaries around you, and release and let go of anything from the past that has been hurtful, especially people who are really good at twisting you around like this. So this is an Independence Day from just making just these relationships that are yes, codependent. I hear you hear me? I hear you saying codependent. Yes, getting rid of that kind of relationship, but getting rid of that kind of perception. It's a way of walking through the world that on this spiritual path, you're here to, be a guiding light. You're here to do this. And you can't do it if you're weighed down by other people's, okay? If you're weighed down by other people's unprocessed pain, unprocessed behavior, personality issues. There's some people who are really in that place of actual personality disorders, but in a very mundane level. I think what we're talking about is put on your glasses, see things more clearly. It's interesting, like you might have an out of focus way of dealing with other people in your life, and I feel like that's why these people keep coming back around. So there's been quite a few readings recently in the last week or two where especially in Venus retrograde, where people are coming back, right? Like we talk about that quite a bit, and now you cannot control whether they come back, but you sure as hell can control how it goes from there. Creating a good boundary, creating a boundary for yourself, realizing that you are not responsible for other people's pain, misery, other people's anger. You're not responsible. They choose that path, right? So when something goes on, this, you've done this yourself. So when you have a situation in your life, you choose how to respond to it. That's their responsibility. If you're putting down, I think that one of the biggest shifts and positive changes empaths can make is to see the behavior. When you put down a boundary, how do those people behave? There have been a lot of people cleared out of my life because when I put down a boundary, their behavior is unfreaking acceptable. They don't care what I think. They don't care what I want. It's really like, well, I don't want to change the way we were doing things because that was benefiting me. So when you put down a boundary and someone freaks out, that's not a good relationship. I don't care how long you've had it in your life. It's something that they have really take from you, take from you. And when you say enough, the people who are not really taking, the people who are in balance with you are like, okay, good for you. Like, that's right. Yeah, sure. You got to take care of yourself. You got to, right? There's more of that compassion coming through. But if you put down a boundary that's 100% reasonable for you to protect your energy, for you to take care of yourself, for you to be, in your highest vibration and not to take in other people's energy. If those people freak out, let them go. Let them go. Because That's not a balanced relationship. So I feel like this is the thing that you're finding is that, oh wow, look at how much more energy I have in my life when I'm not sucking up everybody else's pain and trying to work with that. Because a lot of times you blame yourself for that. A lot of times you think you're the cause of it. You think so if you think you're the cause of it, you think you can fix it. And I will say that, my experience as, from being a child once, I don't have any children, but I was a child once, so I know how it goes. Um, you don't know what kids take in. And, when you cry and your parent comes, you think you can have power over other people's actions because that's what happened. You cry and your parent comes. You have an action or an emotion or something like that, and something happens that you wanted. So that's why when kids throw a tantrum in the grocery store, when you see poor parent, I see it a lot when, someone's laying in the cereal aisle screaming and the mother's just like, hmm. I mean, I feel bad for that mom because like she's doing the right thing by not knuckling under to a temper tantrum, right? But that's what happens. So even in grown-up world, people have temper tantrums. They stomp and they icy coldness. They do all kinds of things, all kinds of manipulation tactics. But it is a new day because you're seeing this now. And so this is the new lesson to learn is that boundaries are your friend. Okay? Boundaries are your friend. And you might discover that your own like thinking that you can I'm going to say this and it's going to sound kind of harsh, but just work with me for a second. What you're seeing is you don't have the power to control that person. Good. Do you want to? I don't want to anymore. That's their sovereign behavior that they are responsible for. I'm not responsible for that behavior. So I feel like drilling down into like a situation here, I do feel like there might be somebody who does come back, something that ended badly. And this is like the experimenting with boundaries time, fooling with science, right? Like we're gonna mess around with doing something different. So if someone comes back who's been not good, and because you've had pain from it, right? If someone comes back and it's been, it was a cold ending, it was a stop, it was a difficult ending. They come back around and they try to play their flute and have you dance to their tune and you don't do it. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. So I do see fire signs here and I see Capricorn. So this lesson here to learn, this Page of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, it is about creating boundaries for yourself, no question. But then it's like, take it to the next level. All right, so Page of Cups, 5 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. On a mundane level, I feel like this is work to be done. I feel like it is going to make you feel like such a release, like offloading this belief that you're responsible for other people's feelings. You're not. And it's going to open up a world of, okay, well, what do I really want? And aligning with the person that aligns with that, right? You're aligning with your soul purpose. You're aligning with the relationship, the kind of relationship you want. You're no longer aligning and dancing to the tune of this person who wants to manipulate you. And first of all, see what happens. It's really interesting. I mean, thank goodness I'm like a Venus and Aquarius, so I can detach a little bit, so I can make these experiments happen, and I don't go like running toward them like, oh my God, I'm gonna take care of you now. I've done something terrible. I don't, and it's like, ooh, a little bit icy, but it has helped me understand that I can create those boundaries, and they don't fall apart. I don't fall apart. The world doesn't fall apart. Nothing ends. Nothing. And then I'm free to create something that is alignment with my soul purpose. This is part of reading your spiritual blueprint, is seeing the patterns that you've had and doing something different and then watching the result. Because that is one of the lessons on the spiritual blueprint that you'll find. That is one of the ways of reading what you're here to do. especially if you've had a lot of these kinds of relationships. I know a lot of us have. All right, so I'm going to continue on with this. I will look at fire signs and I will look at Capricorn. I'm going to continue on with this. If you want to join the spiritual blueprint class, there is a link below so you can find out. I'm going to share with you all these different ways of looking at what you're here to do and how you're here to read your spiritual blueprint, or what's on that spiritual blueprint. So if you want to join that class, the link is below. If you want to continue on this reading, the link is below. But if you're part of Pathfinders, the rest of this reading starts right now.